we change so much in our lives that, and I hate to say this, and you guys may not agree with me, but like we are not meant to be with one person our entire lives. Okay. Now let me just preface this by saying this
should.
next thing. I got you.
I've heard this. I've heard this before.
So just from a biological standpoint, like we are not meant to be with one person. I think especially men. But I think because of security, just societal expectations, that's what ends up happening, right? I'll tell you a story about a girl who was polyamorous, who was on Bumble that I matched with maybe a couple years ago. And when I asked her, like, hey...
Wait, what does that mean?
So she was in an open relationship, but he wasn't.
Damn, that's messed up.
Yeah. So I was like, how did that work? Right? The Bumble thread was about me talking to this girl about like how it worked. Like I wasn't really interested in her. I was just like, yo, this is lit.
Yeah.
And she told me, she was like, hey, listen, I feel like we change so much in our lifetime that if our partner doesn't grow with us, we end up resenting them. So she set this standard of, okay, I'm going to let you know right now that I want to go see other people, but I'm going to come home to you because I feel like you're my partner for life. However, and she was a very hypersexual woman. So she felt like she needed to get that exciting, like, new dick, right? Because, I have to commend her because she was honest with him, and he's still with her. And she told me that
Simp.
It worked out for her and them because she got what she needed, and then she got to come back home to him, and they're actually living the happiest lives because now they're not like, there's no infidelity that's going on because obviously she's like honest about it. She
That's
told
still,
him,
what?
That's just
That's
the
still
best of both.
infidelity.
I think that still counts as infidelity.
Yeah.
I honestly,
it's only infidelity if the other person doesn't know.
It was an agreement.
It was an agreement, right?
All right.
You need to get his
That's sad.
perspective.
I will
He's
say,
actually happy.
I will say this. I can see what you're saying because, like, in the animal kingdom, I'm pretty sure there's no marriages. Like
Penguins.
Like, people don't. Do they stay with each other forever?
Forever.
Penguins do.
Yep.
Fact.
Dang.
Shout out penguins, man.
What about monkeys?
I don't know.
I don't think monkeys do. What? Maybe. I'm a fact check that. I'll bring that for the next
I'm
podcast.
gonna finish my point about how I don't believe in that. I'm not denying the fact that that's what most people want, is to have someone, a partner that they can build a life with for the rest of their lives. But with divorce rates being up to 40 and 50%, which we can all look up, it's a fact. The reason why that is because of the resentment that goes on, because either one partner is growing and the other isn't, or because they just become completely different people and they don't know how to basically start new again, right? The person you were today is different from the person you were 7 years ago. Things that were important to you today may not be the same as it was 7 years ago. Is your partner able and willing to mold to this new version of you and be like, okay, cool, this is you now, I'm down? And some people aren't. Some people are in their 40s, 50s, that's like, I don't have the energy to deal with this shit. I want you to be who you were when I've married you. And that's not always the case. Would you guys agree or no?
I have a counter to you. And I agree with you, but I have an answer for you. Okay? And I think the reason for that is I think that now in our modern day dating, everybody, not everybody, I can't say everybody. From my perspective, a lot of people, they only look for chemistry. And this is where I have a thing where there's a difference between chemistry and compatibility. And I think people spend so much time trying to find someone that they have chemistry or they quote unquote vibe with, because they're like, oh my God, you like this? I like this. Or you like doing this? I like this. You like mint chocolate chip ice cream? I love mint chocolate chip. Oh my God, your favorite number is this? My favorite number is this. It's like stupid stuff. Or like, you like, we got a bunch.
Not compatibility.
No,
I
that's
think,
chemistry. Because okay, okay. So, for example, Angela, you like to compete, right? Brad like to compete. In a hypothetical world, because both y'all like to compete, both of y'all are competitors, right? In the bodybuilding world, y'all have chemistry because you guys have a similar interest. So you're like, oh my God, you can talk about this forever. And you build on that, and then you build an emotional attachment based off of that. But at the end of the day, if you don't have compatibility, you guys are going to end up drifting apart regardless, because like Reza said, years from now, Brad, you said that you like kind of done with competing, right?
Yeah.
Right? So like,
I might, yeah. Depending on how this next two shows do, I might be done.
Exactly. So like it's a phase in your life that eventually that chapter is gonna close and your next chapter is gonna open. Whatever it's gonna be. Dang, Brad, you might be a pro like a expert knitter. Your next chapter or something. Okay.
I can see that.
Right? Okay, so, but
Strong
regardless,
hands,
and it's
but delicate.
yeah. And then Angela, you have a different interest. You do something else. You become an ice skater, right?
It's gonna be an ice
Completely
skater,
different. Then you no longer have chemistry. But if you have compatibility, where you guys have the same values, where you guys believe in you have the same views on life, goals, and everything. No matter what your chemistry is, if you lose it, you can always build it back up because compatibility is the foundation that builds chemistry.
I have a question. I'm just devil advocate in a way. Do you think chemistry can drive compatibility? Because I'll give you an example. If two people are competitors, right? We're going with the competitors thing. That means they understand the lifestyle being disciplined, sacrifice, eating healthy, those things of that nature. And that could attribute to being compatible where in the future, they still want to live their life where they're still healthy and things of that nature. Don't you think chemistry could drive compatibility? Or you think, because I know you say like expert knitters and stuff, but in the end, you want somebody who has like different interests than you. Like you don't want someone who's like, yeah, everything I'm doing, you do the same thing.
I think it's a preference. I think some people like that, some people don't want that. So that's based
Okay.
off the person. But going off your thing, we're talking about the compatibility thing. Okay, let's ask these two people right here. Okay, in order to compete, you have to have the discipline and the dedication to go through a prep process, correct?
Yeah.
Not everybody's built for that.
No.
You have to innately already have that trait within you to even go through that.
That's what I mean.
But the thing, you already have that before you even compete.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you think those values that you say make you compatible is what drives the things that give you chemistry?
But that's what I'm saying. Compatibility is that innate drive that you already have that allows you to compete.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
When you have compatibility, like I said, you're talking about the competitive drive, right?
Yeah.
A determined person or like a weak person will not go there. If you're not built for a prep, guess what? You're not gonna get through it no matter what. You're probably weak-minded. You probably give up after the first couple of weeks. When you start grueling, when you realize, oh my God, this is enough food, I'm starving, you give up, right?
I mean,
A lot of
most people can't even do a regular diet,
Yeah.
Exactly.
let alone do what it takes to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not related to competing. That's a you thing.
Yeah.
And so it's a compatibility. That's how you are. That's how you're built. So like how you are built is and like how somebody else is built. If you guys are built the same way, that is compatibility. And like something like that, something like religion could be a like compatibility thing too. Some people it's not, some people it is. And then it's the other stuff like your mindset, your beliefs, like is family important for you, kids. Like that's a compatibility thing. Like if one person doesn't want kids, one person doesn't. That's a compatibility issue.
Okay. That's
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean.
So
See,
like at the end of the day, no matter if you have compatibility with somebody, you're gonna work regardless if you have no chemistry or not. You might have chemistry at the moment, you might lose chemistry, but it doesn't matter. You're still compatible, so you can build chemistry again.
okay.
But that's my point, is that like that's an ideal scenario, Jesse, is that like throughout your whole life that you guys are continuously compatible, right?
But I feel like you're never just continuously compatible. You're always working, if you want this person, working to be continuously.
Correct. Yeah, it takes two though. It takes both of you to be like, hey, you are the different person than you were 7 years ago. I'm cool with this. What I'm trying to say is that that's hard for some people to do. That's hard for a lot of couples to do. I went to a nursing home to volunteer, and sometimes the best people to talk to about life is these old folks. Them and like little kids. They just have like
Yeah.
different view of the world. And they told me that the marriages that last the longest are those who can understand that people are going to change and you have a choice to say, I'm going to accept you anyways. And some people aren't willing to do that. And there's a reality that's the case. Like what you're saying is an ideal scenario. Like we want to be with someone for the rest of our lives, right? I do too, even though what I just said is the opposite of what I'm saying now. Like I would love to meet someone who will like this Reza, or maybe in 7 years, the Reza that, I don't know, doesn't want to be in the States anymore and wants to go travel the world, right? But I think the reason why relationships fail, especially in marriages, is because people are just not willing to accept that changes do occur.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point I'm making. And when I when I said, "Oh, we're not meant to be with someone for the rest of our lives," let me just clarify by saying that, like, from a biological standpoint, but we have brains, right? We have the ability to mold and change, and because of that, we look at our partner and we say, you know what, you're not the same person you were a couple years ago, but I have the ability to make a choice whether I want to continue loving you or not.
Your
'Cause
neocortex.
it's a choice every day.
Your neocortex.
Yes.
You know what is simplifying that saying? Love is a choice. That's it.
For sure.
Love is a choice.
Sure.